What's going on, everyone? So today we're gonna look at Joby Aviation, and they just announced today that they're going to merge with Reinvent Technology Partners. So essentially, that's gonna take them public. Now, here is the current preview, and obviously you can see in the background, it's a flying aircraft, and essentially, in short, it's an EV air taxi if you want to summarize it. And this one, compared to the other EV companies I've seen, this one seems to be more promising, and I would say I'm more bullish on their future compared to the other EV companies that I've seen. And just note, this video is just for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice. Make sure you do your research before making any investments. But pretty much here, we can just scroll through their website and you can see this is actually a cool little graphic that they have. And basically, it'll restart, but it shows LAX, so pretty much LA's airport, and then it's going over to Newport Beach. And if you've ever been to California, you know how crazy the traffic is in LA. So you can see here, it just went there within 15 minutes, and then driving it is pretty much 1 hour plus. And that's just assuming, traffic, there's no accidents, there's nothing crazy that happened. So that's a humongous time change just because they just flew over all the traffic. And if you've been to LA or you even lived in California before, you know how insane traffic is. And this would be a lifesaver if they could implement these flying air taxis to particular locations around California areas and even other popular locations. They even mentioned Dallas, Texas, one. New York would be interesting too. Any place that can save you time where you don't have to deal with traffic, I think that's a huge bonus already. And now we can continue scrolling down and you can see more of the designs, and it kind of looks more of a like a helicopter with a airplane design combined. I've seen other EV companies out there and they have more of like a drone looking feel, but this one has, I see, more of a practical design with that actually replicates something that's already working, such as a helicopter, and then they just change the way the propellers are on there. So that's really interesting to see. And then here I have this article to show you the latest news, like I mentioned in the beginning, that they're going to list on the New York Stock Exchange through the merger with Reinvent Technology Partners. And I'm just going to go through a quick summary. I don't want to bore you guys with this, but basically, we can see here they've actually concluded over 1,000 test flights, which is absolutely awesome because I'm sure a lot of these other companies, they might be promoting their EV aircrafts, showing a few test flights here and there, but they've done 1,000 test flights. So that's a good progress to see, especially to see for a space that's essentially untapped. Not many companies are in it yet, but I could see in the future that you'll see flying air taxis all over the place, right? And here you can see that the transaction value combines the company at 6.6 bill, and that's post money equity value, and then is expected to provide approximately 1.6 bill in gross proceeds. And you can see here the additional funding. And pretty much, I'll go to a fact check page because they have an actual fact check page on here that's pretty cool to see. And basically, it just saves you a lot of time. So, founded '09, they have 700 plus members, and I'm sure that's going to continue to grow as they build their company. And here's just an overview: company, transportation, design and manufacturing, all electric, vertical takeoff and landing aircraft, so essentially Evtol. And you can check here. Here's some cool fun facts right now. So they have 5 seats. So there's one pilot, which they do have a pilot, commercial airplane pilot, and then you have 4 passengers. So there's other companies. I'm not gonna say their name, but it seems like some companies are having 1 passenger, maybe even 2, and it just doesn't really make sense for efficiency because you have to do 2 vehicles or 2 aircraft just to do essentially what one Joby can fit. And that there you can see that. And then max range, it says 150 nautical miles, and then that equates to 172 statute miles with a 30-minute VFR reserve. And then here the maximum cruise speed, 200 miles per hour. So that's pretty fast. I mean, it's not super fast like airplane fast, but it's faster than your car. Plus, you don't have to deal with traffic. And then you can see the noise, and then pretty much the additional dimensions of the actual product. But I think the most important thing is to see the actual use case is actually working. So over 1,000 flights, which you've seen the original post earlier. And they are headquartered over here. You can see that they have facilities in Marina, California, and offices in additional California and Washington D.C. and even Germany. And here you can see more additional details on the actual strategy. But like I said earlier, they have the use case of LA. And again, if you've been in California, you don't even have to live there. If you just driven through California, LA, you know how insane the traffic is, right? So just flying over all that traffic would make your life so much easier, and everybody I feel like would pay just to save them that time. Obviously if you need a vehicle, then that's different, but the time you would save just to skip the traffic, that's a problem that I could see them definitely solving, and the demand is already there, so we just have to wait for them to actually produce the actual production vehicles, and then pretty much we'll just wait from there. But they also mentioned Dallas, which I said earlier. And again, Dallas, Texas, it is a big city too, but it's nothing compared to LA's traffic, right? So it's still good to see you save time, so that's good there. And then they say they plan on having the commercial operations in 2024. So in terms of like a investing standpoint, this is a little longer play. It's not something that's short term, like, a couple weeks from now something's gonna happen. You're most likely not gonna see any real progress until they start actually selling, if not producing, the actual aircraft so that people can actually go ahead and fly and use these, right? So that's something to keep in mind. They do have certifications here as well, which you can all go in here and read through this if you'd like to. But basically, they just show the milestones of what they've worked on. And this one's pretty cool. They have here in 2020, so just last year, the U.S. Air Force granted its first ever Evtol airworthiness certification to Joby as part of its Agility Prime program. So that's huge to see that already. And then you can see they already had their first production prototype begin the rigorous flight tests. So that's cool to see that they've basically been working on this for a very, very long time. And you can see some of their partnerships. They have Toyota's invested 394 mil. That's a huge chunk. Also Uber. If you follow Uber, they used to have the Uber Elevates, and they still have it on their website you can check out. But it seems like they acquired this by Joby. They pretty much have here 75 million as invested with Joby. And basically, they have the Elevate team as well. And if you've seen the website on Uber Elevate, it looks pretty nice, the 3D rendering. So it's cool to see it there. And there's you can see additional partnerships down here as well. And then let's look at the stock RTP. And it actually saw a surge in price recently. And then all of a sudden, it took a dip. Obviously, they bought the rumor, sell the news. But long term, this is definitely an interesting company. And I would say to keep an eye on it. And you can see here down below more details on the news and just overall the merger. But yeah, so definitely let me know in the comments below what you think about Joby Aviation. Do you think this is going to be a dominant EV aircraft company, or do you think another company is going to take over? And if you made it this far in the video and you want to receive 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850, then go ahead and click the first link in the description below. And as long as you sign up and deposit $100 minimum or more, you'll receive 2 free stocks. And also, if you use my referral link, I receive 2 free stocks as well, and that benefits both of us. And aside from that, if you want to see more updates on the market, upcoming companies, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.